Hello. I would like to show you briefly these results about large data set that is from AQA. So I have an equivalent resource for Edexcel. And in this case, I always recommend you to do questions from any exam board, but not in this case because the large data set is very particular in each of the exam boards. So from since 2017, although the first papers that you will find where they use this large data set are the June 2018, you have a large data set about vehicles in UK in a few areas and about the type of vehicle and the propulsion and the CO emission and things like that. So you have to remember just a few things because the large data set is a whole spreadsheet in Excel that is quite large, has a lot of content, a lot of information, and you are not going to be able to remember, obviously. And nobody expects that from you. So you have three regions in England, like East London, Southwest, and Northwest. You have five car makers, so these ones, and you have data only from two particular years and very, very short amount of days. So between look, here is what 6 days and 6 days here in June in 2002 and in 2016. Things that uh, are included in the large data set are these ones. So you have a reference number given by AQA, the make, propulsion type, and you have this type of propulsion, body type. You don't have cars larger than 8 seats, so you don't have many buses or things like that. These are the body type. You have the keeper, and engine size and emissions. These ones, I would really recommend you to remember the units. Yeah, so that's something that they could ask you, and it will be important when you answer your questions because they could maybe not ask you the units, but ask you to give the answer with the units. So you should remember. They are going to give you usually bits of the large data set, so like portions of the data, and they are going to ask you a few questions like finding the mean, the standard deviation, doing a hypothesis testing in GR13. But then they can ask you one more question about the units or if something could make sense and with your knowledge of the large data set. So you have a link here for the large data set. So if you click, you just open the AQA large data set. You have for tabs, you have like an introduction, you have the actual data here, so you see the reference number, the make, and the data about those cars. You have a definition. I will have a look to this thing, and you have the code meaning. Yeah. So, for example, here, when you see the propulsion, you have just a code. So, what the code means is here in the field value. So, if you have one, is petrol. You have two, diesel, and so on. Yeah. The same with the body type and the keep. Next thing you have, and I think is probably the most helpful, is a collection of exam questions that are on the large data set. So you have some from the sample papers and some from the actual papers. AS is the year 12 questions, A level are the year 13 questions. So if you are seeing now large data set at the school, it's likely that you are in year 12. You won't be able to do most of the year 13 questions because they are going to be about things that you haven't covered yet. Yeah, but you will be able probably to do the first ones. So you have the question and you have the answer straight away. Yeah, the mark scheme. So question, answer, and you see that they give you portions of the tables with the data. And then I would say just a few things to remember that have they are in a few papers and maybe it's useful to remember just in case, like it only includes an limited number of makes of cars, so you cannot make conclusions about all the cars because not all the makers are included, or that you are including only some regions of UK, which means you cannot make conclusions about the whole UK and outside UK either because you don't have any data. So things like that are maybe helpful to remember. Yeah, and that's all. I hope you find it helpful. The large data set is, I would say, a bit annoying because they may ask you questions that are necessary for you to remember. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So I hope this helped. Bye bye.